What is good, everybody? What is good, y'all? What's popping? Let me get my audio situated before I roll something up here. Okay, looks like the audio is situated for tonight. Mark, what up, bro? Everybody that's tapping in just now, get yourself poured up, get yourself rolled up, whatever you're drinking, whatever you're smoking. If you're sipping on some exotic pop, get it poured up, get some ice, get your blunts rolled up, get nice. Let's go. Mikey T, the movie star, back. And we got some shit to talk about. I'm about to twist up a little bit of Irish Cannonball, 28%. You know what to do. Put some respect on that like button. Hit that like button to get things started. Hit the like button. Let me know what city and state you're representing. Let me know what you're smoking on. Like I said, I'm blazing up some of this Irish Cannonball, 28%. Some fire-ass weed, you guys. And also, I'm sipping on some exotic pop. What's cracking? What's up, neighborhood all-star? Definitely appreciate you tapping in tonight. Going to get things started on a lit note. We got a couple stories to talk about tonight. Tony Yayo's been doing quite a few interviews talking about some G-Unit history that we're going to go over tonight. We got some new G-Unit facts to go over. Hell yeah, pineapple cookies. All right, looks like you're smoking good, neighborhood all-star. What's the percentage on that? You got a percentage for me or what? Twist this up so we can get things started on a high note. No pun intended. Let's get things started on a high note. Y'all see what I got. I got all the exotic pops behind me. We got all the exotic pops behind me. Shout out to my guy Little Flip for actually putting me on. You're going to be seeing me drinking a new exotic pop every episode. Every episode, another flavor of exotic pop. But right now I'm getting this Irish Cannonball rolled up. So make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you definitely share this video. All that shit, you know what I'm saying? Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you let me know what city and state you're tapping from in the chat. What up, Legendary? Neighborhood All-Star in the building. Here we go. I'm ready to light up. Damn, bro. You got that 27%? That's what I'm talking about. That is what I'm talking about. Bulletproof love from Brownsville. Much love to Brownsville, Brooklyn, Edgemere Houses, Far Rockaway, Jamaica, Queens, NYC. So we got to talk about Wack 100 putting Mase in his place. Wack 100 put Mase in his place, you guys. Pretty crazy to me. We're going to be going over that today. Wack 100 pretty much letting Mase know he needs to stop crying over the Diddy contract. Stop crying over the Diddy contract. We're talking about it all tonight, you guys. Everybody, make sure you let me know what city and state you're tapping in from. Let me know what city and state you're tapping in from. Let me know what you're smoking on. We're just getting started on tonight's live stream, man. Definitely appreciate y'all for tapping back in. What's going on? James Bond tapping in from the Motown. What's up with you, Fresh? You know what we doing, man? We just having a good stream tonight. Sipping on some exotic pop. If you missed my new interview with Lil Flip, go check it out. It's out right now. One of my dopest pieces. Boston, MA. Boston, Massachusetts. Okay, Legendary. For some reason, I didn't know you were from Boston, Massachusetts. He said he doesn't smoke, but he always enjoys the show, and that's the most important thing right there for everybody watching, to actually enjoy the show. You know what I mean? And I definitely appreciate it. I wanted to do a little bit of a live episode earlier because of the fact that all this shit was buzzing about Pretty Ricky and G Unit and Pleasure P, Tycoon Weekend, all that jazz. You know what I mean? Marcus Cooper, aka Pleasure P, actually posted on his Instagram that everything was good with 50. He said that there was no beef whatsoever. Got me to doing a little bit of investigation. I wasn't overly investigating, man. I don't got all the time in the world for that shit, because there was a couple videos that dropped. Now, I could have went the extra mile. I could have examined the walls. I could have looked at what everything was looking at, the room that 50 and Marcus Cooper were in together. You know what I'm saying? I could have stopped, paused, and analyzed it when 50 Cent brought up Keith Sweat to perform. I could have analyzed it. You know what I'm saying? I could have stopped the video. But you know what, man? You know what? Tony Yayo keeps tight-lipped about these things. Then you got the guy, Marcus Cooper, posted the videos. And I'm just gonna have to wait and see what happens. I'm sure in Vlad's next interview with Tony Yayo, he will bring it up. You're right, Legendary. You're right. I didn't know that Yayo had problems. Well, actually, let me correct you there. Yayo and Pleasure P, Marcus Cooper, and all them, they did not actually have problems. It was rumored to be something that was said on the spot. Sometimes people be drinking. Sometimes you be sipping on some of that Branson. Sometimes you be sipping on some of that De Leon, and you can run into an issue or two by the words that come out of your mouth. You know what I'm saying? Classic Chris Tucker. Can you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Unfortunately, sometimes, yes, we can. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, yes, we can. And sometimes the words that come out of your mouth will write a check that your ass can't cash. Pretty Ricky isn't riding high. You know what I'm, they're not grinding high, as I should say, anymore. You know what I'm saying? Pretty Ricky, one of the dudes actually got sent to jail. You know what I mean? I think it was Blue. We see what happened with one of the others, Spectacular, and known as Yellow Boy. At one point of his career, he started rapping. Pleasure P remarketed himself as Marcus Cooper. So, yeah, let's get away from that. If you want to check out my full 30, 40-minute episode on it, you can go click on the last video that I did. I get in depth about that. Also, we give a little shout out to Rollo, who hopefully will be released into a halfway house next year. That's right. Next year, hopefully Rollo will be released into a halfway house. Yeah, Yayo's been doing a lot of interviews. It would be great to have Yayo on the show, you know, between Vlad and a lot of the other podcasts that he's done. It would be great to interview Yayo, but don't know if that's going to happen. You know what I mean? Don't know if that's going to happen, because I need everybody to hit the like button. I need everybody to share this video. Put some respect on. Let me see what's going on with the likes. Put some respect. Put some respect on that like button. Put some respect on that like button. Yep. Yep. What up? What up? What up? What up, Dan? Appreciate you. Philly's in the building. Philly's in the building. Yeah. Yeah, neighborhood. I seen it. I seen the new Yayo, the new passport piece. Definitely dope. You know what I mean? Interesting how some of these new pieces are actually they're a little bit more larger than life. Offset, Cardi B had gotten Offset a piece that would actually open up like he was in a trap house. I guess Yayo got the piece where he can open it and literally get his passport stamped. You know what I mean? What you toking on, Mikey T? I'm actually smoking on some Irish Cannonball. I'm actually smoking on some Irish Cannonball. Smoking on some Irish Cannonball tonight. What up, what up, what up, Louisville? Louisville, Kentucky, what up? Yo, this shit is 28%. I had to cop this shit. I ain't even gonna lie to you guys. I had to cop this shit, man. Honestly, I was gonna probably only grab a 14 of it, just to be real with you. I was probably only gonna grab a 14. I was probably only gonna grab a 14 of this, but then I saw that it was actually 28%. I actually saw that it was 28%, and I was like, all right, let me grab a full O of that. I was like, let me grab a full O of that. Because the last few weeds I had were actually 26, 25, 24%. So how much different is it really going to be? But the last time I got this weed, it was 23%. So I was like, you know what? I got to get that shit at the new hit and level. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You already know, Ric Flair. We back at it. We ain't never leave. I'm on the internet every day. You watch it like it's TV. What up? What up? What up? What up? No Custer's TV. It's my guy right there. Risco Rain. What's up? Appreciate you tapping in. Don't really know what's up with that that emoji, but what's up? Appreciate you for tapping in regardless. Hell yeah, man. So Tony Yayo gave an interview where he spoke about the G Unit deals. You know what I'm saying? He spoke about the G Unit deals, which I'm interested in touching on. I'm interested in speaking on what Yayo said in this podcast because he spoke on the fact that 50 Cent only gave out 2 album deals. He says he only gave out 2 album deals. That doesn't seem to be the case for Young Buck. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't seem to be the case for Young Buck, though, because I think we all seem to remember the very, very tight situation that Young Buck was put in. Excuse me, guys. I'm paying this Kush just a little bit too much mind. Appreciate you, Risco. Just saying you strong and go hard, bro. Nah, I appreciate that 100%. Appreciate that 100%. Everybody supporting the channel. Because we all know that after, you guys, after Young Buck's second album, he still had to put forth another album. He still had to do another album with G Unit. So another thing that Yayo said in another interview that caught my interest. What's going on, Philadelphia Eagles? It's my guy right there. James Bond says 2 albums. That's gravy. All a real spitter needs is one. Yeah. We remember what happened. We remember what happened, you guys. Lloyd Banks completed his 2 albums. Lloyd Banks dropped Beamer, Benz, or Bentley. Lloyd Banks got the attention of every record label, I would have to say. I think he attracted the attention of Def Jam. He had the attention of Good Music. And who came a-calling? Curtis. No longer Interscope Jackson. Curtis, no longer Interscope Jackson, came a call and he said, Banks, I can put you up on this situation with EMI. I got this new independent deal. Who in their right mind? Who in their right mind would have signed that deal? I'm putting a poll up right now. Who should Lloyd Banks have signed with for his third album? That's the question, you guys. That's the question I'm putting up right now. That is the question that I'm putting up right now. I need everybody to answer this. I need everybody in the live to answer this question. I'm putting it up right now. My poll is up. Pause. The poll is up right now. Everybody vote in the poll right now. I need everybody to tap in with us, share this video with one friend, but more importantly, vote in the poll. Everybody vote in that poll. Sorry, I was just getting it up in my other joint. Pause. Yeah. Def Jam. Yeah, Def Jam was looking for him the same way that Def Jam was looking for Lil Wayne. When Lil Wayne was breaking away, when he was breaking away from Birdman, but he never ended up making that final leave. He never ended up leaving, you guys. He ended up staying with the label. Now, back to what I was saying about 50 Cent having Young Buck in a tight position. After Young Buck dropped his second album, Buck the World, he seemingly was the only G Unit member signed to another deal. You know what I'm saying? He was seemingly the only G Unit member that had a 3 to 4 album deal with 50 Cent. Tony Yayo said that 50 Cent never did any of the G Unit guys dirty. He signed them all to 2 album deals. But then in another interview, when asked about Young Buck's deal with Vlad, Yayo said he didn't know about other people's contracts. So he didn't really know. He didn't really know how many albums Young Buck had signed for, you guys. When we look at the reality of the situation, he didn't know how many albums Young Buck signed for, because we all remember after Young Buck dropped Buck the World, he was working on a very, very oddly titled album. It was called The Rehab. I was wondering, did Buck check himself into a rehabilitation? You know what I'm saying? Did Buck seek a bit of help? You know, I was kind of wondering what was going on with Young Buck. Everybody hit that like button. Let me see what we got for likes in here. Hit that like button, y'all. We got 25 likes. We got 60 people in here. Let's get those likes up, man, and we'll get back to this. We're going to talk about Lloyd Banks leaving the label, Young Buck wishing he could leave the label, Tony Yayo saying 50 never did anybody from G Unit dirty, except on the radio station, right, Yay? Except on the radio station when 50 called you out in front of all the other G Unit members. Do I really need to go dig up these old conversations and react to them? Because people love to jump on the internet and just try to change the narrative. You know what I mean? They like to change the narrative on the internet. James says Buck was cool, but the truth from Juvenile stamped it. Well, the thing about that is, James, is Juvie never really told us what the complete truth was. You know what I mean? He never really told us what the issue was. He just said, yo, I don't want to talk about Buck. I'm not going to talk about Buck, this and that. So it's kind of like, what do you mean you're not going to talk about Buck? You just called him you just said this, that, and the third about Buck. You should kind of break down the situation. But he really wouldn't break down the situation, you guys. I was kind of left in my mind wondering, what did Young Buck do to rub Juvenile the wrong way? Oh. Let's be clear. Young Buck was getting shelved with UTP. Let's address that. Let's address it. Because Young Buck was in a tight situation pretty much his whole career. Pretty much his whole career. It wasn't 50 dropping the audio of him crying. It wasn't 50 shelving his third album. Shit, without 50, he wouldn't have got those two albums. Neighborhood All Stars, right. Wacko and Skip were a duo. Young Buck was maybe never going to get released. I don't want to give any examples because I don't want to offend the hip-hop community. You know what I mean? Because I walk on eggshells not to offend all of my peers in the hip-hop community. Well, I'm going to need the hip-hop community to start reaching out and showing that love. You know what I mean? Or else I'm going to start using very blatant examples when it calls for it. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is, though. The Juvenile situation was pretty basic. Juvenile was trying to get a couple of his guys on. Buck was there. Buck used what he could to gain attention. Maybe he was getting a little bit too much attention. Maybe he was all up in Suge Knight's face just a little bit too much. That's kind of what I got to believe. Oh, dude, man. Yo, get up. Yo, bro, get up out my live, man. Go talk in somebody else's live, bro. You little clown ass bird. Left Birdman, re-signed to Birdman. Well, he was about oh, you're talking about Buck. Yeah, you're talking about when he left Birdman and then he came back as a part of the Head Busters. You know what I'm saying? Came back as a part of the Head Busters. People talking about facts, but they don't know no facts because they don't know shit about Young Buck rocking with the Headbusters because they were probably like 3 years old when it happened. So please leave this YouTube shit for the big boys, guys, that can talk the facts. You know what I mean? Check your ass the other way. There we go. Excuse me. Buck still got bars. I can't take that from him. James, I'm not going to lie, man. The Young Buck bars started to waver a little bit to me. You know what I mean? It just didn't really ever seem like Young Buck could make a hit song. You know what I mean? With the exception of Shorty Wanna Ride. Hate to say it. You know what I mean? Hate to say it, but with the exception of Shorty Wanna Ride, Young Buck didn't really make that many hit songs. His first song, Let Me In, everyone thought that was going to be a dud. Everyone was really thinking that was going to be 50 Cent's first dud, you guys. They're like, oh, damn. The Young Buck out. I hate to say it because Young Buck was my favorite. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean just because somebody's street and authentic, you know what I'm saying, and doesn't really want to, go the pop route, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean I'm not going to be a fan of them. I was cool. I liked some of the Murder Inc. rappers that didn't get an opportunity to release albums. I like some of the, more to the core gangster music rather than the pop sensationalized music. But what hits did Buck have? I see you, Vega. What up, Vega? Vega, appreciate you for tapping in. Stomp was fire, of course. Stomp was fire. I mean, it was a song where Young Buck was. It's not a radio-friendly hook whatsoever. We look at another scenario that played out. It's a 3-person record. You know what I'm saying? It's literally got 3 people on the record. You've got Game. You've got Ludacris. You've got Game. You got Ludacris on the record. So we really got to take that into consideration as well. Shorty Wanna Ride? Smash hit. Smash hit right there. But he did not have another Shorty Wanna Ride. Even the single from his second album, Get Buck, it really wasn't it for me. The single from his second album really was not it for me, you guys. Maybe I've hated on that I don't call it hating. It's not my taste. I really wasn't feeling the marching band style of it. I was like, oh, man, they need to get Buck out of this. They need to get Buck out of this realm because the one reason that they made Buck connect, it was the same reason that they made Game connect. It was because of the fact that they made the East Coast fans fall in love with him. Down South guy connecting, got the Southern base, and it was the same thing with Game. He's got the West and he's got the East. Yeah, Get Buck just wasn't it for me, Neighborhood All-Star. Was anybody in the chat, do you guys think there was any other record? Do you guys think there was any other record that he really could have done other than Get Buck? You know what I mean? Was there any other record? Was there actually any other record that he could have done other than Get Buck to actually solidify? You know what I mean? What was Bonafide Hustler on? Bonafide Hustler was actually on the Young Buck's first album, Straight Outta Cashville. What up, what up, what up? New Zealand in the building. What is popping? I told y'all I was coming back on here tonight. I want to talk about Tony Yayo speaking on 50, doing right by the G Unit members. I wanted to speak on him talking about that. Also, I wanted to speak on Wack 100 and Mase. Wack 100 basically telling Mase to fall back off of dissing Diddy. Enough is enough. Enough is enough, man. What are you just going to keep on coming back out here and dissing Unk, as they call him? Oh, damn, I tried to let your little punk ass live, bruh, with your little weak ass comment. When I already tried to help dude make an album, you little weak ass punk. Slow your roll with Chester, Smokey the Bear. Yeah, I've said that a couple times. Smokey. Slow Your Roll actually should have been turned into a record with Linkin Park. It should have been Young Buck. It should have been Young Buck featuring Linkin Park. G Unit featuring Linkin Park. And that would have been an amazing single. I don't know why they didn't put the marketing dollars behind that, especially since Linkin Park had literally just got done. Linkin Park literally just got done, you guys, with the Collision Course album with Jay-Z, where they merged all their joints together. You know what I'm saying? So it was like a no-brainer. Young Buck brought Linkin Park to the table, you guys. Just like Kid actually brought Lil Wayne to the table. It was just 50 G Unit. They didn't capitalize on these moves. Manuel, what up, bro? He says, wasn't Bloodhound Buck's record? Bloodhound was Buck's record, a record that was placed, though, on Get Rich or Die Trying. You see, it's a little bit different. You know, Young Buck's record right there on Get Rich or Die Trying actually was a different style of single for him. This was his breakthrough single. You know what I mean? Young Buck. One second. Sorry about that. Todd says Lloyd Banks needs to go in. Well, you should have said needed to go independent and make more money off of the streams. Yeah, you know, but Banks, excuse me, Banks quietly left G Unit. You know what I mean? Banks quietly left G Unit. Young Buck, he started going on all of his shows and saying F G Unit. You know what I mean? He started going on all of his shows and started saying FG Unit. Young Buck, with that whole incident that happened at the Vibe Awards, Young Buck honestly thought he was about to become the next Young Jeezy. You know, Young Buck thought he was about to come out and do 500K first week. I could see it now. And, you know, 50 actually gave him a single for the Buck the World as well, Hold On, which I thought was an awesome diss track. I thought that was an awesome track. You know what I mean? But Buck has a lot of awesome tracks. Haters, Stomp, one of y'all said in the chat. He's got a lot of bona fide hustler. You know what I mean? He has a lot of awesome tracks, but you know, it comes down to more than can you rap really good. It's more than that. We have battle rappers, and we've heard this conversations with battle rappers throughout the years. You know, they say, can you make a song? You know what I mean? We understand you can rap amazing. Like, you're an amazing lyricist. You can string it all together amazing enough too. But can you make something interesting enough to play all over the radio? Young Buck, case dismissed, mixtape was straight fire. Buck was in his bag. Buck was in his bag for a minute. You know, that's why Buck was like my favorite in G Unit. You know what I mean? Yayo had a point where he was my favorite in G Unit as well. 50, obviously. I mean, 50 was the centerpiece of G Unit. You know, the reason that we all first got introduced to Lloyd Banks, Tony Yayo, the inclusion of Young Buck, the inclusion of the game from the West Coast. Yo, my guy right here. He said, Mikey, salute SPI, the most easty, most underrated California legend, cuz got 20 plus classic mixtapes. Yeah, let's not even get started with the way that Spider Loke started to put his career together. You know what I mean? The way that Spider Loke started putting together his mixtape projects. You know what I mean? After, it was evident that the machine of G Unit really wasn't what it once was. You know what I mean? But the way that he still started stringing together projects, it almost made you think like maybe G Unit is still together. Maybe this shit still is working a little bit. You know what I mean? We're starting to see some projects come out from artists that are within G Unit. You know what I'm saying? We got G Unit coming back together with I Know You Don't Love Me. They come back in 2008. No, what was it called? It wasn't I Know You Don't Love Me. What was that G Unit record that they all put out? What was the first record released from Terminate on Site? What was that first one released from Terminator on Site? And Yayo was on the hook. Wasn't really feeling it. It was just a really bad way to start off the album. I'm wondering who in the chat actually knows what that is. But we had hope from G Unit. You know what I mean? We had hope from G Unit. And then it all just sort of 2009 is when Rick Ross took it over. So in like 2005, 2005, we're all heavy believers. 2006, we're all still heavy believers. Even in October, when Lloyd Banks put out the album that we all kind of looked at as a choke. You know what I mean? The Rotten Apple album. No disrespect, Banks. You're one hell of an MC. You did some amazing things on that album. It was just a tad boring and something that we didn't really expect from a G Unit release. 2007 came. 2007 came along. Young Buck's album tanked. Like I said, they didn't have a single. It's like they didn't see what was right in front of their face. About 5 months later, 4 months later, 50 concocts this plan to face off with Kanye West. And it is the last hurrah. It is quite literally the last hurrah of G Unit at this point. If 50 loses, well, I'll be real with you. There was no thought of 50 losing back then. Because at this point, we were still blind to it. We were like, oh, 50's projects are failing. His G Unit releases are failing, but there's no way Kanye West is beating 50 Cent. If we all remember the sales, nobody remembers this. Besides Tony Yayo, when Kanye West beat him, the late registration album, 830,000 units first week against Tony Yayo's 215,000 selling units of Thoughts of a Predicate Felon. What were you thinking? And that's another reason that 50 wanted to go up against Kanye West too, because he sunned Kanye West. Kanye West treated Yayo like Jay-Z treats Memphis Bleak. That might have not been the right comparison, but you guys get what I mean. Kanye West came out and completely decimated Tony Yayo. Who remembers it? Put a thumb up in the chat if you actually remember it. Nah, Vega. I'm not talking about I Know You Don't Love Me. That was the last single on Tony Yayo's album. What was the first single? What was the first single on the Terminate on Sight album? The first video released off of it. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, Peter. Peter, what are you trying to say? What are you trying to say, Peter? After After 50 lost to Kanye West, which you didn't let me finish, which nobody in the world outside of Jay-Z and probably Dame Dash, nobody thought Kanye West was outselling 50 Cent, but nobody paid attention. Nobody paid attention, you guys, to 50's numbers in comparison to Kanye's numbers. 50's numbers was just too good to really even really give a shit to compare. You know what I'm saying? Look what happened. 50 went from 800,000 in a week to 1.1 million. Kanye West went from like 400,000 in a week to 830,000. He made a jump of almost 500,000 units. You're playing with the wrong one. You are playing with the wrong one. He played with the wrong one because Kanye made a jump up. I think Graduation sold something like 950,000 units first week. Kanye West, College Dropout, first week sales. And let's get the year as well. Okay, 441,000. There's also something with the year that needs to be pointed out. The year is very important, you guys. Late registration, 860,000 units sold. But get it, it was sold in 2005. College Dropout was sold in 2004. 50 Cent's album Get Rich or Die Trying was sold in 2003. The Massacre was sold in 2005. Curtis was sold in 2007. We're getting too much of a lapse in time between the G Unit projects for us to be as invested as a fan. Now, the Massacre dropped in March of 05, and then Curtis dropped in September of 07. We're talking about nearly 30 months of lapsed time between 50 Cent releases. This is another reason that Kanye West won that battle, you guys, going back and analyzing it. Kanye West was selling units every year. So 2005, then he took 2 years to make his album, Graduation. Then he took 2 years to make that masterpiece, even though Late Registration is my favorite personally. Even though Late Registration is my favorite personally, you guys. Appreciate you, James. Buana says they should have dropped an album when the game was saying GU not. What do you mean, bro? Are you talking about the G Unit group? Because G Unit had quite a lapsed time in between their albums as well. Beg for Mercy, 2003, November. Terminate on Sight, 2008. I don't even want to look up the month. Maybe it was January, if they're lucky. 2008. You're going to take 5 years to drop a follow-up to that classic album? Oh, shit. Bro, if Chicago saw Kanye West outselling 50 Cent, why was Chief Keef running around with the Beg for Mercy album? You know what I mean? Let's be real about it, man. Yo, I appreciate you guys tuning in tonight. I really do, man. No, there's no way to be fair. There's no way to be fair about the G Unit projects. There was no way to be fair about the G Unit project. The only reason we didn't get a follow up to the 2003 G Unit album, Beg for Mercy, is because Buck and Game both left the group. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like they would have had a classic album, I want to say in 2005, the end of the year, more than likely. They would have had a G Unit Beg for Mercy follow up album that would have featured 2005. Well, they did have the Get Rich or Die Trying album in 2005, the soundtrack. I feel like there would have been a more core G Unit album with Game and Young Buck on it had things not gone crazy and Game started dissing them all over. That's not the thing about yo, man. Go start your own blog. Start your own shit, bro. Talking about I'm speaking facts here, bro. Thanks, man. I appreciate you be telling shit. I appreciate you. I appreciate you be spreading the word. Definitely appreciate you be spreading the word, man. And you know we rocking with this shit right here. We rocking with this. That's right. We got the exotic pop, y'all. Got that exotic pop, baby. Definitely appreciate it. Yo, that's my guy right there, Nick. SPI gang. Yeah. SPI, that's my dude right there. Definitely want to cook up a dope interview for Spider Loke. The Get Rich or Die Trying soundtrack was not the second G Unit album, man. That was a whole nother check, man. Come on, bro. Stop playing with yourself as a fan, bro. Don't do that to yourself, bro. Don't do that to yourself as a fan, bro. Don't do that to yourself as a fan, bro. Come on, man. Let's be real. Let's be real here. Let's be real here, man. The second G. Should I do a poll? Should I do a poll? Definitely need some of this water. So, yeah, let me put up a poll. Let me put up a poll. Let's do this poll. Poll life. Wow. Everyone really says that wow, that's crazy. Everyone really just still said that Lloyd Banks should have just continued to sign with G Unit even after he had Beamer, Benz, or Bentley. My bad, y'all. I was just putting the poll up. Hey, bro, I'm not saying we don't count the soundtrack. The soundtrack is definitely getting counted, but it's not, in my opinion, it's not the second group album. And thanks for adding to the conversation, Peter. Peter G. PG. Thanks for adding to the conversation. Facts, man. Facts. Rest in peace. Yeah, you know, Banks is a grown ass man. Banks is a grown ass man, a great ass artist. You know, people go through different things in their life. People handle different things in their life different ways. Let me see what's going on. Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh no. We don't even got no votes in there yet, man. Everybody needs to go vote in the poll right now. What If was really good too. That was a solo 50 Cent song. What If was dope. There was a lot of dope songs on there. Things Change, which you could consider a G Unit cut. A lot of dope cuts on there. What was the Young Buck song with 50 Cent? And then you had Get Low from Lloyd Banks. It was the song that was used in the robbery, you know, the first scene of the movie. The voice in my head said I should rob. Damn, yo, what the hell? Yes, whip your head, boy. Yep, Window Shopper, Have a Party with Mobb Deep. Let's go over the soundtrack. I'm gonna bring that shit up real quick, man. About to pull this album up. There we go. My bad, y'all. I was just posting up a poll and shit and getting to the soundtrack. Oh, so boom, we start off with Hustler's Ambition. Hustler's Ambition was fire. Talk About Me was fire, Smokey. I heard that was actually a Get Rich or Die Trying album throwaway. So we had Hustler's Ambition, which was the lead single. And it's actually it's the first track on the album, Hustler's Ambition. If anybody has anything to say about Hustler's Ambition, write it in the chat and I'll read it out. But it was a dope song. It's got a lot of replay value. I could even play it to this day and age. You know what I mean? Hold on one second, man. You can't be having the shit looking all bad. You know what I'm saying? You can't be having the shit all looking all bad. And then we have What If, which I also said was one of my favorite. What if? Doesn't he mention a bunch of rappers' names in this shit or something? Yeah, he's like, Then if I couldn't do the shit like Puffy, then the hoes wouldn't love me. If I can if I could do a flick like Will Smith. I think he's talking about some shit like that. If I could do a flick like Will Smith. But What If is a dope song. So look at this. Look at the reality of this, you guys. This is not a G Unit album. We're starting off with 250 Cent solo cuts. Everybody vote in the poll right now. We move on to Things Change, produced by Sha Money. I like it. Now, this is Spider Loke with 50 and Banks. Dope ass song. Now, we're in 3 for 3. This album's really 3 for 3 so far. You already know my mind is on my dough. You already know my mind is on my dough. No, that one's not for me. Sorry. Damn it, man. You know what I mean? I try to give Banks props where I can. Who do we got featured on here? So we got 50 again. So we're 5 for 5 on 50. And now we've got in Banks twice. We got Young Buck for the first time. We've had Spider Loke. Right now, for everyone just tuning in, I'm actually checking out the records from the Get Rich or Die Trying soundtrack. Thanks, Teddy White. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Smash that like button if you got love for the channel. Smash that like button if you think I could do flicks like Will Smith. But this is where the I'm going to have to do a full review of this album. Holy shit. This is just banger after banger. We have When Death Becomes You, MOP featuring 50 Cent. 50 Cent's on every track, you guys. MOP, there's nowhere to run to. Comes you. Dope ass track. We flip it off. 6, Have a Party, Mobb Deep, 50 Cent, Nate Dogg. Rest in peace to the 2 legends involved with this track, Nate Dogg and Prodigy. My Lord, what an amazing single. How I wish this single could have been saved for the Blood Money album. But 50 had to make do where he could. The fact that he found a spot for Mobb Deep to fit in on the Massacre re-release with the Out of Control remix. The fact that he found a spot to release Have a Party with a video, I believe, on the Get Rich or Die Trying soundtrack, and then put out the single, put them in their place on the Blood Money album. It showed me that he actually found a lot of expenses to put on Mobb Deep and a lot of opportunities to give them. And I respect that. And guys, moving on to track 7, I think we're about to hit our first dud on the album. I think we're about to hit our first dud. We Both Think Alike. I'm leaving this to the chat. We Both Think Alike, 50 and Olivia. We're getting to see Olivia on the album now for the first time. So 50 has showcased Mobb Deep. He showcased MOP, Young Buck, Spider Loke. And now he's showcasing Olivia on that da 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 da. It's like some island vibes almost. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like some island vibes type shit. Yeah, the Infamous was released as the street single, wasn't it, Smokey? That was actually the first song you heard from the album. Yep. So we're down to the first trash song of this album. But you know what? If this is the only trash song we've got, besides the mediocre, You Already Know, I might be considering giving this album an A. I might be considering that. or this album might get a solid 8.5, maybe a B plus. Oh yeah, I think it's more of a B plus. Yeah, because from there we go to Don't Need No Help. Don't Need No Help, and I'm gonna have to go to some lyrics. Young Buck, Don't Need No Help. I'm gonna have to go to some lyrics for this one, you guys. I'm sorry. Oh yeah, it's the one where it's like, we handle it ourselves. We don't need no help. We handle it ourselves. We don't need no help. Yeah, I remember this shit now. He's like, I think he's like, F the law, F the police, F the law. We don't need no fucking help. Yeah, I remember that shit. That shit was good. That shit was good for sure. Is this only Young Buck on this? I find that very interesting. That Buck the first getting his own solo track here aside from 50. I know Yayo is, yep, he's getting his own solo track produced by High Tech. JR wrote him. From there, we move on to the lackluster Get Low, where I'm sure he makes a rhyme about a television having a four rectangular shape, square shape television of some sort. Nah, Get Low is a cool song. Get Low is a cool song. Not my favorite of Lloyd Banks's records, but definitely a cool song. Moving on from there, Fake Love with Tony Yayo. I really wasn't dealing the slow pace Tony Yayo, just to be all the way real with you. Window Shopper, great song. Great song right there. Window Shopper was dope. The video was amazing with Mase. They filmed it in Europe, I guess. Born Alone, Die Alone by Havoc, or produced by Havoc by Lloyd Banks. Let's look up some lyrics for this one, man. Because I'm not just gonna call another Lloyd Banks song mediocre. He's like, I'm on the prowl with the hammer, hardly smile at the camera. Too many dudes is dying. I'm spending time with my grandma. 100 grand in the safes, 100 grand in your face, a million plus in the bank. Will scuff in the paint. You handcuffing that bitch. She don't want to be with you. All she want is your chips. My little dudes will beat it to you. Sneak the heaters through so we can party good. Grandson of Edith Rue, born out in Hollywood. The boy wonder will unravel your team. I'm TRL next. I'm at TRL next to Avril Lavigne. Yeah, I'm remembering this. All my karates are green. The Buddha is purple. Be rude and I hurt you. You're moving in circles. We do it all. Moving movies, commercials, stadiums, clubs, ladies and thugs. The hood to the burbs. I'm on the red carpet because I'm good with my words. Banks is on his shit on this one, man. What does he got for the hook? Oh yeah, it's like I came in this world by myself. Came in this world by myself, so it's okay. Yeah, Banks, Born Alone, Die Alone. Not my favorite. You a shooter, Mob Deep. You a shooter, then shoot, man. I'm doing my thing. My name here to go bang. I believe that's the You to Shooter record. Cool record. I don't know, officer. Stand out. You got 50. Lloyd Banks, Prodigy, Spiderloke, Mase. Spiderloke making his second appearance. Okay. Prodigy making a solo appearance. All right, I'm liking it. I'm liking it. And then we got Mase on there. You know what I'm saying? Did we ever get to hear Mason? Did we ever before get to hear Mase rap with Prodigy? Well, let's thank 50 for making that happen. Oh wow. Talk About Me, like I said, that may have been the Get Rich or Die Trying record that was not used for the original Get Rich or Die Trying. I believe produced by Dr. Dre. Go look it up, man. I think I might have heard that story somewhere. If not, tag it in here. Be like, Mikey T, nah, that's not the case about Talk About Me, bro. Anyways, moving on. When It Rains, It Pours. Wow, produced by Dr. Dre and Mike Alonso, who actually did with the Talk About Me. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe both of these records are old. But I think When It Rains, It Pours is one of my favorite 50 Cent songs. When it rains, it pours. You would almost swear that When It Rains, It Pours was made for the Get Rich or Die Trying movie, though. So we've got I'll Whip Your Head, Boy. Did we not go over that one? Yeah, wow, that's a bonus track. How is that a bonus track? That's odd. But right before that we have Best Friend. Best Friend is a bonus track? Wow, that's crazy. Produced by Ron Browse. Shout out my guy Ron Browse. He's a cool ass dude. He actually gave me an interview. I really didn't realize that I'll Whip Your Head Boys was a So Pete, after hearing that, yeah, Mase. So so guys, everybody, after hearing that, do y'all think that this was really the follow-up to Beg for Mercy? I just don't think so. This was not the follow-up to Beg for Mercy to me, in my eyes. But 64% of you guys actually believe, 64% of the people in here actually believe that is the case. You don't look at this as the follow-up? Here, let me check out the other poll. I got a couple polls ringing out for this one right now. I want to see what everybody says about this. Nope. So I got a poll going on in my other chat. So I got a poll going on in my other chat that 30 basically the results are that 58% say TOS was actually the follow-up and it was not the Get Rich or Die Trying soundtrack. You a Shooter, definitely one of the best 50 and Mobb Deep songs. I would have to say it was better than the I don't know. I'm gonna have to go back and give them all another listen, man. They were doing some great material when they linked together. Yep, I see. I see. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying right there, man. Because technically it was G Unit. Technically it was a G Unit group project. Damn. You just got me to say it right there. But yeah, guys, man, I appreciate everybody tapping in. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe right now so you don't miss my live videos, our live conversations. I appreciate everybody involving themselves in the live podcast. You know what I mean? Showing love on the streams, indulging in the conversation, adding to it. Get a lot of shit going here. Did this live special. If you missed my earlier live, make sure you go back and check that out right now. I was going crazy a little bit earlier on the other live, but this was a great discussion as well. So make sure you tap back in. I'll be back tomorrow on live. I'll be dropping interviews all week. Make sure you don't miss any of the content that I am releasing. I want everybody on here to also follow me on social media. If you guys aren't following me on social media, I want you to stop what you're doing right now and go follow me on the gram. That's the only way we're going to make this foundation grow stronger. I need everybody to, you know what I'm saying? If you're not subscribed here, make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell, go follow me on social media. Definitely appreciate everybody tapping in and making the brand grow stronger as the days goes by. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Yep. In here, they're rocking with it, man. I'm about to end the poll. Get your last votes in the poll. If you haven't voted in the poll, vote right now. I'm going to give y'all another minute to vote in the poll. I'm about to roll something up. But y'all make sure you go follow me. I'm about to pin that up too. Pin. Let me get my weed. Hold on, I got that. Let me see what I got here, y'all. Let me see what I got here. Got some fire. All right, y'all. I'm about to get up out of here. For tonight. Peace, y'all. Make sure y'all tap in tomorrow night.